The music in the club faded into a low, seductive hum as every eye turned toward us. She sat on her velvet throne, the Mafia Queen, draped in elegance and danger, her black suit sharp enough to cut through silence. I stood before her, heart pounding but chin high, refusing to be another shadow in her empire. The air was thick with smoke and secrets, the red and gold lights dancing across the crystal glasses like sparks waiting to ignite. Her lips curved into that infamous smirk, the one that ruined men and ruled cities. "You really think you can challenge me?" she asked, her voice smooth as whiskey yet cold enough to freeze it. I didn't flinch. "I don't think," I said, "I know." A ripple of disbelief spread through the room. No one dared talk to her like that, not here, not ever. But I was done being afraid. Maybe I didn't have her power or her army, but I had something she didn't, the courage to stand alone. Her eyes studied me, slow and calculating, like a predator deciding if the prey was worth the chase. Then she leaned back, crossing her legs, the light catching the diamond ring on her finger. "You've got fire," she whispered, almost amused. "Let's see if it burns or fades." In that moment, I knew my life had changed. I wasn't just another nobody in her world anymore. I was a storm she didn't see coming, and she was the chaos I couldn't walk away from. Because sometimes, the most dangerous thing you can do is look power in the eye and smile back. That night, the challenge wasn't just declared, it was destined. The room was quiet, too quiet. The kind of silence that makes your heart beat louder than it should. Smoke curled lazily in the dim light, wrapping around the edges of danger that hung in the air. She sat there, the Mafia Queen, her face half drenched in shadow, half kissed by the soft glow of crimson and violet. Her eyes, dark and unreadable, studied the woman across the room. A smirk curved on her lips, slow, deliberate, almost cruel. It wasn't a smile, it was a challenge. A test of courage. A declaration of power wrapped in quiet seduction. The other woman stood still, her reflection trembling slightly in the queen's glass of wine. She could see herself, small, nervous, yet unwilling to look away. Something about that smirk burned through her defenses. It wasn't just beautiful, it was dangerous. It told stories of blood, betrayal, and the kind of love that ruins you before you even realize it's happening. Her pulse quickened, not out of fear, but fascination. In that moment, time slowed. The world outside disappeared. The queen took a slow sip of her wine, her eyes never leaving the woman's reflection. And that smirk, that impossible, knowing smirk, said everything words never could. It said, "I see you. I've chosen you. And you'll never walk away the same." She didn't know if it was attraction or destruction pulling her closer. Maybe both. But deep inside, she knew one thing for sure, her life, her heart, her entire world had shifted in that single glance. All because of her smirk. That night, the game began, and love was never meant to be part of the plan. Rain pours like shattered glass from the heavens, soaking every inch of the silent night. The mansion looms behind them, its golden lights flickering through the storm, an elegant witness to the chaos unfolding. Two women stand face to face, their breaths visible in the cold air, their eyes locked in a war that words could never describe. The Mafia Queen, composed yet dangerous, lifts her chin with pride. Every drop of rain that slides down her cheek glints like steel. Opposite her, the challenger trembles, not from fear, but from fury tangled with something deeper, something she refuses to name. "You should have stayed away," the queen says softly, her voice slicing through the rain like a blade wrapped in silk. But the other woman steps closer, defiance glowing in her eyes. "You don't get to decide that," she replies, her tone shaking with restrained emotion. For a heartbeat, silence reigns, just thunder, rain, and two hearts pounding in rhythm with the storm. Beneath the fury, beneath the unspoken betrayal, lies an ache neither can ignore. Their gazes collide again, no longer enemies, not yet something else, but dangerously close. The rain blurs their edges, softens the hatred, and for one fleeting second, it feels like the world has forgotten to breathe. Enemies are something more, the faint words glow against the night, lingering like a secret neither dares to speak aloud. She could walk away. She should walk away. But as the queen's lips curve into the faintest, most devastating smirk, the truth becomes undeniable. This was never just about revenge. It was about everything they couldn't control, and everything they could no longer hide. Love or destruction, only the storm will decide. The city pulsed with neon lights, alive yet empty. The rain fell in electric sheets, washing away every lie, every fear that had kept them apart. She stood there, jaw clenched, breath uneven, watching the woman she swore to hate step closer, every heartbeat louder than the thunder above. Their eyes locked, defiance burning in both, a storm of emotions neither could name. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Not here, not between enemies, not under the shattered glow of magenta and gold lights reflecting on wet concrete. Yet here they were, inches apart, drenched and trembling, unable to turn away. The air crackled, charged with something more dangerous than lightning. Her hand rose before she could stop herself, gripping the other's collar, tight, desperate, trembling with every ounce of anger and longing she'd buried for too long. The other woman smirked, that same fearless smile that once infuriated her, and whispered, "You don't have to keep fighting." And just like that, the walls shattered. Their lips met, fierce and hungry, the kiss raw and unguarded, a rebellion, a confession, a surrender. The world blurred around them. Rain or sparks, they couldn't tell anymore. All that existed was that moment, the warmth of her mouth, the taste of rain and electricity, the wild thrum of hearts that finally found rhythm in chaos. When they pulled apart, breathless, eyes wide with shock and awe, the city seemed to pause with them. That single kiss had rewritten everything, every grudge, every scar, every rule they once lived by. What began as defiance had turned into destiny. And in that fleeting instant beneath the neon storm, they both knew, nothing would ever be the same again. The city hums outside, a restless sea of lights flickering against the tinted glass. Inside the car, silence stretches like a fragile thread between two hearts that shouldn't have ever met. The Mafia Queen leans back, her eyes steady, unreadable, the kind of gaze that could command an army or break a soul. Beside her sits the challenger, the woman who once vowed to destroy her. Now, their hands are intertwined, a quiet rebellion against everything they were supposed to be. Every heartbeat feels like a secret, a whisper of something dangerous, something real. The scent of gunpowder still lingers in the air, memories of chaos fading into the hum of the night. She turns her head, a faint smirk tugging at her lips, and for a moment, the queen isn't untouchable, she's human. The challenger meets her eyes, searching for the monster she was warned about, but all she finds is the echo of her own fear and desire. They both know the truth now, power and love don't coexist, yet here they are, tangled in both. Love was never part of the plan, the queen murmurs, her voice soft but sharp enough to cut through the silence. The challenger exhales, her fingers tightening around the queen's hand, as if holding on could change their fate. Outside, sirens wail in the distance, a reminder that the world hasn't forgotten them, that consequences are already on their way. But for this fleeting moment, in the dim glow of the city, they choose stillness. They choose each other, not out of safety, but defiance. Because sometimes, the most dangerous thing in the world isn't power, or vengeance, or betrayal, it's love that dares to exist where it never should.